This is another video about Guild Wars 2. For people who don't know the game or don't know MMOs in general or just have an experience with World of Warcraft or similar MMOs, I want to show some things that are unique to Guild Wars 2. For example, you can collect colors and color dye all your gear on the fly for free. It doesn't cost anything, and you can unlock hundreds of colors. That is also part of this completionist gameplay you have available in Guild Wars 2. This is the first chapter of Living World Season 2, and this text snippet here is the introduction to what happened and what happens right now. There are the usual achievements connected to zone completion, things to do, to climb on, or to collect. And this is a quick look at the zone in its entirety, and I compare it to a normal sized zone. All these maps have these symbols in it in different colors. They are all exploration and completion related, meaning you have to do or unlock or visit all those points to achieve world completion. That's a big part of the game. Somewhere down there was the old Sephiroth zone, and on top, the brown circle zone is one city, the city of the humans. It is really big. Those are a few examples of those points of interest and vistas you have to unlock to achieve world completion and zone completion. This is a quick intro of how quests work in Guild Wars 2. There are none. You have, instead of an NPC that asks you to do something, you have NPCs that just walk around and try to do a job, and you support them. Or in this type, they will have a circle around them. You go there, you do things for them in the circle, defeat enemies, collect things, repair things, revive people, and if you do that enough, you get a reward if the NPC succeeds. If it doesn't succeed, you get some consolation prize, which is not that great, but it still rewards you for spending often half an hour or something on a task. One thing that is unique to Guild Wars 2 is that you don't have to be in a group with people to affect them positively. You can, every heal is an AoE, area of effect, so my spells help everyone, and if I do something right, the quest advances and everyone profits. Players are not in competition to one another. That's something World of Warcraft has really screwed up, and many other games as well. So I died, got pushed off, and fell to my death, but I still, minutes later, got the reward for my participation because I did a lot of help. I cat out most. But I did about 80-90%, so I got my reward. I got my full reward. That's something that wouldn't happen in World of Warcraft. If you only get 14 or 15 things, you don't get a reward. And here we have a cave-in. I just walked by. This just happens. You see a cave-in. People inside the cave are locked in. People outside can't get in. So the game asks you do something about that and take this, I think dynamite or something, and drop it
Short, but good.
at the entrance, blow it up so people can walk through again. But of course there are some obstacles. Rocks fall on you and make you drop your payload. You have to use the kind of spell, the skill on your 1 key to find out where the next rocks are gonna fall and then evade it. And once you do that, you get completion. You blow it up until the entrance is completely cleared, and then you get the reward for the event and for helping the people in the zone, because most of this zone has a very focused theme, helping the crashed Sephiroths. Their ship crashed in this zone, helping them to get on their feet again. So here we make it and manage to blow the rocks up. I get experience points and a general reward for helping in his chest. And then I stumble upon a really fun event. You have to collect these crystals with these little parachutes on them, and an enemy NPC faction, the Inquest, the guys with the red names, they try to take those and steal them. And you have to be quicker than they are, and they will try to sabotage you when you grab one of those little parachutes with the crystals. Then they will try to run at you and cast some spells on you, and you will drop the crystal and you have to pick it up again.
No, why do you?
Or they take it and just run away with it. So I'm trying just to avoid any confrontation. You can also fight the enemies and try to fight for the objective, but it is unnecessary. I just try to evade them and run away
I could outrun a centaur.
faster than they can chase me, which is I think the most effective way to win this contest. Here I steal one and they try to get me, but I do a few evade moves and they cannot catch up. Here is a player that is downed, basically. He's about to die and I help him up again.
I was in some deep trouble there.
The great thing with these kind of quote-unquote quests is that you always work together in Guild Wars 2. The enemy faction are non-player characters, NPCs, and all the players work together. And no one has to do the whole... every action you can... Every task you can do. You don't have to do that. It is enough that some players do just this task and some players do just another one. For example, there is you have two skills on this crystal with the parachute, and one of them is just throwing the crystal in a direction. So another player can pick it up and turn it in, and it still counts for everyone, and everyone will get a reward. In other games, like in World of Warcraft, here we just saw one player threw it in the direction of the basket, and anyone could go pick it up and turn it in, and this player would still get a reward. In World of Warcraft, you would scream bloody murder if someone does something you need to do for a quest, and that's why leveling there is so tedious, because it's just a chore. It's not something you enjoy or you want to do. In such a game, they would force you to do every step of a task, and they have to check that. So if you find one of those things tedious, then the whole quest is tedious, and that's something Guild Wars 2 avoids and rewards cooperation. I can help any player up. I can help any player, support them, and if I do it in the area where the quest is happening, I'll still get a reward. And this is just an example of a champion or boss fight in this game. They have these telegraphed attacks that are very, very powerful. One or two of those can kill you. And I'm just fighting to do enough damage so I can get a reward at the end. You need a lot of people to do those, but they also scale, meaning if too many people are taking part, it's still hard. It doesn't get easier. So you don't have to worry that too many people show up. Anyone who is taking part for a long enough time gets a reward at the end. So even if you just come in at the very last 20 seconds or something, and this fight lasts minutes, then you still get the lowest tier of rewards. Here I just went down and some players got me up again, and I managed not to die. So I get some experience points, renown, and chests from the boss itself, from the champion itself, and achievement type reward chest at the right side of the screen that rewards helping the NPCs in the zone or taking part in the overall theme of what you're supposed to do here. This is the last thing I want to show off in this video. It's one of those panorama zone type places where you get a reward for standing at the spot and viewing the area in this very cinematic way. Guild Wars has hundreds of certain types of spots, and a big chunk of those are these panorama points. It encourages you to really look around and explore and get everywhere, explore the whole game, not just dungeons. That's something other games usually don't, because they have not a handcrafted approach. It's a lot of empty space in many MMOs. For example, in the new Elder Scrolls game or in World of Warcraft, a lot of the areas are just filler. There's no content there. And Guild Wars 2 is full of content. What fascinates me, and it's kind of shocking, is that so many games have a game world that is not part of the gameplay. It's just floor you can walk on. And Guild Wars, the game world in Guild Wars 2 is part of the gameplay. And for me, I'm actually very into game design from a theoretical standpoint. That is one of the reasons why I enjoy these games. for me, it's just
Prepare to dance.
striking how basic of a mistake it is to craft a unresponsive or irrelevant game world for a game and then fill it with something and expect people to enjoy it as much as a game world that is in direct connection to what you do and complements it. So before I go, I should add that I did not play this with a mouse and my usual keyboard, so I am terrible in this gameplay. But I just made this to show off some game mechanics, and for that purpose it was perfectly fine. Have a good time and have fun.